Hey guys, once again, time for example 3 of completing the square. This time I have a squared minus 8 plus 15 equals 0. My a term does equal 1, so step 1 we're still good. A does equal 1. Step 2 says rewrite the equation so that the constant term is alone on one side of the equal sign. That is currently not the case. Sorry, I had a hair on my screen. My constant term is my plus 15. That is not by itself on one side, so I need to get rid of it. So I would do that by subtracting 15 and subtracting 15. Zoom in so I can write a little bit neater. Subtract 15 and subtract 15. That would leave me with a squared minus 8a. Once again, I'm going to leave a little bit of a space. Equals a negative 15. So now I have step 2 done. Step 3 says to square half the x coefficient and then add the square of that to both sides. So what is my x coefficient? My x coefficient, even though it's labeled a, is still my middle term, is 8. So if I go over here, I'm going to say, well, x equals 8. So 1/2 of 8 would equal 4. And when I square that, 4 squared equals 16. So I am going to add 16 to both sides of my equation. So plus 16 plus 16. And that's step 3 done. I am doing that so, as step 4 says, I create a perfect square trinomial where my first term and my third term are both perfect squares. I can now factor that using the perfect square rules. That would factor down to x minus 4 squared equals a positive 1. It's a minus 4 because I need two numbers that multiply to be 16, a positive 16, but add together to become negative 8. So that's why it's a minus sign there. So now if I want to solve this, I have to isolate my variable. I have to do that by beginning, or I have to begin by first doing completing this. Man, I totally butchered that. I have to begin by taking the square root of both sides. Sorry guys, don't know what happened there. And when I take the square root of both sides, those would cancel out. That leaves me with a minus 4 equals plus or minus the square root of 1. And this is where I have to solve two different problems from. I have to say, okay, what's a minus 4 when 1 is positive, and what's a minus 4 when 1 is negative. So I am going to go to the side of the variable and add 4, they cancel out. A equals 5, add 4, a equals 3. And those are my two solutions, my two answers, the roots to this problem. As you solve this, please use the checklist. I will make sure to post the PDF version